Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the March Peony newsletter. Let's begin with a bow. Okay, so this is always a busy time of year as we try to launch new initiatives and close up things that had been happening. Um, so below in the newsletter, you will see the Warrior Assembly applications. By the time you get this in early March, really just 3 more weeks uh, to apply. And so hopefully everyone who is wanting to attend and able to attend is able to apply. And the deadline to apply is the 31st of March, if I didn't say that out loud. Okay. The next update is about the Heart of Warriorship editing process. There had been a very small group of us working to edit the manual fundamentally all of last year. And we now have a final draft, and that has gone out to a number of readers. And they have until the end of the month to submit edits and questions, and then we'll integrate that feedback and hopefully have a final draft. So that feels good. I haven't seen the feedback yet, so the process feels good. We'll see what comes from the readers. And then the biggest chunk of this newsletter is really announcing the 2026 working groups coming out of P&E. And so there is a kind of synopsis of each group and kind of what we're looking for, and then a form to indicate interest at the bottom. And so there's a link down below. The 5 areas that we are working on this year. The Sacred Path Manual desperately needs to be edited, and so hopefully gathering a group around that. Continuing our efforts to refresh some Buddhist studies resources so that centers and groups feel like they can teach Buddhist courses and have some templates to work off of, and that they're not having to reinvent the wheel. So that work will continue. We've kind of this year divided up the project into a smaller pieces, and so hopefully that's more accomplishable. We'll see, and we'll continue to adapt as needed. We're continuing the work of the Better Practices for Online Teaching working group. There was a survey that went out. Now we're looking for members to come together and host small conversations with the teachers who indicated an interest to have deeper conversations. And so that's a working group. And Buddhist Vows continues. We're kind of shifting gears a little bit. I had been working with the current preceptors, a group of them, and now I really want to focus on how to empower the next generations of Refuge and Bodhisattva Vow preceptors. And so calling together a community group to look at the issues and challenges and possibilities there. And the final working group, basically the final working group that we're announcing, one can always emerge in the year, is a group of volunteers to work with Shambhala online content. And so to take kind of one-off courses that have been good and right are great resources in and of themselves, but to take that and turn them into course guidelines so that they can be offered in centers and groups, not in conjunction with the videos. That's always an option, but really to turn it into a syllabi that you could use at a group or center to teach the same material. So this is just another attempt to kind of get into the treasure chest of what we have and create resources out of it that hopefully are useful to centers and groups. So that's it. And so down below there is a link that explains all of this. And as I said, there's a Google form to indicate interest. And Kaylin and I, in talking through this process, we came up with kind of basic duration of the projects and also basic qualifications of group members. But please don't let that be a barrier. That if you have a particular interest, given what we've written below, indicate your interest anyway. We can always have a deeper conversation and find a good fit for how you could benefit the work and the project. So don't let the prerequisites be an obstacle, please. I think we just need to jump in where our hearts kind of alight and delight. And hopefully good work comes from that. Okay, this feels like a very short newsletter. But thank you all so much. I hope that the Fire Horse year is a good year for us, for humanity, for the planet. And so let's do our part in that work. All right. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.